Well, hello there, how is everyone? I hope you're all well. It's me, and I'm back in the UK, where the weather is not so groovy. But anyway, you're looking amazing, by the way. So we get straight into the meat and potatoes, as we're talking about Lucy Letby. Now, if you're from the UK, you're definitely going to know who Lucy Letby is. If you're from the US, there's a high possibility that, again, you know who Lucy Letby is. But if you're not, Lucy Letby is basically, she's a child killer. And she's one of, I think it's only 3 females who have been jailed for life in the UK without the possibility of parole. And that has just come to pass. This has been a 10-month-long trial, which has seen her... it's a horrendous case, a truly horrendous case, and an utter evil woman. But you look at her and she looks absolutely normal, and that's the scary thing. And it again proves that evil doesn't have a specific look, a specific way about her. She worked as part of a neonatal group within a hospital, and she twisted the knife in on the very final day of her sentencing, when victims' families would come to the court. Jurors who had sat through 10 months of this trial would come to court, looking to see her face her demise, if you like, and perhaps watch her listen to the impact statements. But she didn't turn up. She didn't turn up. So one last, like I say, twist of the knife to not be there, just to show utter contempt for the victims' families. But they would go on to talk about what they had been left with and the trauma, the turmoil that this evil woman had put them through. Where in most of the cases of where these children, we're talking about tiny children, babies, where she had been the last person to hold the child, to dress them in what they would go on to be buried in. Can you imagine that? That these parents would be grieving the loss of their child in front of the very person who had killed them. And this was part of what Lucy Letby revelled in. Not only the destruction of the child, but the destruction of that bond, the destruction of this happy moment, and to revel in watching the aftermath of what she had caused. So yes, truly evil. But like I say, she is locked away with no possibility of parole. And at her young age herself, she's not going to hopefully ever see the light of day, and she will live many years rotting away in a hole. But that is the Lucy Letby trial over and done with after 10 months. Now, we could question whether it is justice. Did she get justice? Is this how justice has worked? And we've got the outcome with which is right. I suppose for those of you who can truly answer that question will be those who either believe or don't believe in the death penalty and the existence of such a thing. Sadly, it doesn't exist in the UK, because I do feel that if ever there was a crime or crimes that do justify the death penalty, then that certainly is when a child is killed at the hands of an adult in an act of utter brutality and purposefully with just evil intent. There is no worse a crime on the planet. But anyway, let me know down below if you followed that case, if you followed the Lucy Letby case, and if you feel that this is how this had to end. This was the right justice, and this was the right process. And I do know that off the back end of all this, they are now looking into officials within the trust with which Lucy Letby worked to see if there can be further charges brought towards those who were potentially turning a blind eye or not doing their job at the very least to look into what was happening. Will we see more heads roll? Should there be more heads rolling? You know, I certainly myself, and you know me, I generally sit on the fence, but for me, I just don't see how this person got away with this for so long. And if, you know, if people were looking at what they should have been looking at, could lives have been saved? And was Lucy Letby just left to do what she was doing because of people who were not doing their jobs? Or just show that there is a bigger issue within the NHS in the UK, and it is a completely flawed system in every sense of the word. Again, let me know down below. This has been video 2 of 2, and I shall catch you in the next one.